I'm Berit Mason. The green movement, budding for years, today is in full bloom. Most companies and advertisements have some sort of green angle. Here are a few stories about people and their ideas that are rapidly transforming this industrial strength gray planet back into one that's a lush, living green.
One of the newest green products of the sustainable revolution has come from the roofing industry. Green roofs were first used by the Vikings. Originally sod tops, green roofs are making a comeback in Norway, and they're being introduced to South Texas. Ecologist Michelle Bertelsen is with Austin's Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. They want to learn how a green roof can help a hot brown state.
The local roofing industry was interested in finding out how well or if these roofs performed. There are a lot of benefits attributed to green roofs. Most of it, the testing has not been done here in Central Texas. It's been done in sort of more temperate regions where there's a lot more rain and the temperatures are not so high. And so they wanted to find out how they did here and sort of compare them to each other and to standard roofs. The two primary benefits of green roof that you think about are water retention, holding on to water, keeping it from running off the roof quite so quickly, and also cooling down the building. And then cooling down the building can be extended to the entire city. You may have heard of the heat island effect. Our cities are hotter than the surrounding countryside because we have so much asphalt and we have no plants. And it's thought that having a green roof, a vegetated place in the middle of the city, could help dampen that effect a little bit.
A green roof is not only cool, it's cooler.
The Wildflower Center took a box, and with a black roof and no AC, inside it rose to about 130 degrees. They took another box and put a green roof on top, no AC. It rose inside only to 100 degrees. 24 roofs later, they decided that a green roof can save your air conditioning costs by about 20%.
In Texas, when it rains, it floods, causing hazardous conditions. But green roofs love to drink water, so they'll sop up that extra rain. They soak up sun and carbon dioxide.
Right, so we know that plants grab carbon dioxide out of the air and they use that to make energy for themselves. And they incorporate that carbon into their tissues and they put it down into the ground. And so it stands to reason that having more vegetated areas in our cities could grab more carbon out of the air, put it into the ground.
Austinite and green roof owner advocate Kathy Zarsky wants to see more green roofs when she looks out over her city. She's built this living garden atop her self-designed home.
Austin City Hall is a green roof, and not many people know that. So they do have a lot more attention being placed on that roof in terms of maintenance and plant replacement, but you can see what you can accomplish with a roof like that.
Zarsky says most roofs can host some plot of green. Her friend and fellow architect Lauren Stanley also has a green roof.
If it's designing a house the same way that we always have and then trying to put a roof deck on top of it afterwards, or a garden roof like this, it's an added cost. But if you're balancing your priorities, you can integrate this into your overall budget quite easily.
Like any home improvement project, their planting takes time and money. An average cost is about $20 a square foot. Bertelsen says, take your time.
You need to decide early in your project what your goals are. Do you care about cooling down your building? Do you care about holding on to water? Do you care about having a pretty place to go out and look? Decide that at the beginning and then design your roof to fit those goals.
Green roofs support the environment and bring life to a dead space that's usually just ignored. Berit Mason for Living Green. His garage is his headquarters. His friends and family are his staff, and he is the CEO and creator of Vosflips, an all-natural flip-flop that gives the flip to oil.
In our case, our sandals are made from natural rubber, which is a sustainable raw material made from the rubber tree. In this case, it's a tree that's cultivated in the tropical regions of the world, and it's a raw material that is recyclable and eco-friendly, which makes the sandal green. Rubber isn't just rubber. There's a difference between natural rubber and petroleum-based rubber.
Green entrepreneur Jose Flores says the Gulf oil spill was blunt evidence that we must quit making petroleum-based products, of which Rankin Energy states there are some 6,000, and return to using natural and clean materials. He says today's green business plan helps the planet and its people.
We actually go back to the plantations where the raw material is cultivated, and we're conscious of the individuals that work this raw material on a day-to-day basis. We provide those individuals, these communities, basic health care and education on the plantations.
Flores is so intent that everything in his company be green that he actually went to the dump, picked up this trailer, rescued it, and recycled it.
20-something green entrepreneur Matthew Jackson says his light bulb moment came when a friend complained about her cell phone.
And what she remarked was that, she feels kind of like a crack addict having to search for a plug at this trade show, all, very, very crazily because her phone's already dead and it's only 10 o'clock in the morning, So that's very much, what other users and other professionals face sometimes is constant death of their phone battery.
So the UTSA Business School grad is developing an idea hatched at the UTSA Engineering School to grab floating Wi-Fi energy to power cell phones, untethering us from electrical outlets.
What we call the pre-charge, and that is our wireless mobile device charger, specifically under development for things like smartphone applications, tablet, PCs, that would be incorporated into an all-in-one case to provide a sustainable charge to those devices, basically capturing energy from wireless transmissions.
He's also working on the Baby Mat, a sensor-stuffed pad that monitors a child sending distress messages to a parent's smartphone.
That's exactly the direction everything is moving, is to greater sustainability. How can we build more efficient buildings? What technologies can we design and improve upon that can be more earth-friendly?
You're not really hip if you're not having some sort of green in your business plan.
Definitely. I think in many ways, if you're not including something green in one way or another, you're behind the curve.
Both men agree in today's uncertain economy, the silver lining shines a bright, vivid green. Berit Mason for Living Green.
San Antonio is what's known as a solar city. That's a city that's committed to harnessing all of this solar power.
Homeowners are also harnessing the sun like Gretchen Garso-Craig. Solar panels alone power her whole house, even her air conditioning system.
We haven't gotten the first full CPS bill yet because it just went in about a month ago, but we're expecting to see our energy bill drop by about a half.
She paid $5,000 more for a solar-powered AC system, but with rebates and her utility bills now cut in half, her new AC will be paid for in about 5 years. It also works more efficiently. She keeps her thermostat at 80 degrees and says that it's nice and cool in her home, even in the middle of a broiling Texas summer. But she has a warning for solar-hungry homeowners.
We originally contracted with a general contractor who told us that he could do the work, and we didn't realize that he was not a CPS-approved installer, and luckily we found that out before the work was done.
If the inexperienced contractor had done the installation, San Antonio's CPS Energy would have denied her their 30% rebate.
Would you agree that right now there is a frenzy in the solar market, everybody wanting to pile in to do solar installation, whether they're qualified or not?
I would think so. I think that a lot of people are kind of getting on the bandwagon and trying to do the solar work without getting properly trained on how to do it.
Hill Electric sells and installs solar panels, but owners went to great lengths to achieve the correct certifications. Their Solar Solutions Division's Charles Kirk has some advice on who to hire, aside from him.
Are they registered with CPS? Two, are they a licensed either electrical contractor and or air conditioning contractor? Check their insurance, and then also check for solar training.
He says the industry is so hot that everyone wants in on the action.
Typically what we're seeing, especially with the economy where it's at, people are looking to solar, one, to help save money, but two, they're also looking to make money with solar. So 1 week the guy could be a journalist, go get 40 hours of training, and now they're ready to sell solar to the customer. Those are the guys that you want to be careful of. Look for long-term history in a contractor.
Hill Electric's Billy Hill says there's nothing to be scared of converting to solar.
We want people to understand that solar right now is affordable. With the rebates, the greater rebates from CPS and GVC out there right now, the 30% federal tax credit, the cost of solar has never been more affordable than right now.
We think, well, I can afford a solar-powered air conditioning system, but there's no way I can afford to solar power my own whole house. I mean, that's for Bill Nye the Science Guy and his neighbor Ed Begley, those guys with lots of money who are on the cutting edge, but that's not necessarily the case.
No, and that's where the rebates come in. Now, you take that contract price of the system, whatever that might be, and you're knocking 40% off right off the top from the rebates themselves. Then you add in the 30% federal tax credit. Now you've got a system that's affordable. You're going to see a great return on your investment.
But after the right people install your solar panels, Hill says you're going to fall in love, especially when your energy bill arrives, especially when it says, please pay $12. Berit Mason for Living Green.